Did you know that father absence can be the cause of some of today's societal ills that we face as a society? And I say this not from a perspective of something that I've heard or some story that somebody has told me, but from the direct effects that I saw from my own personal life. My mom and dad divorced when I was only 6 years old. And from that time, I just began to mothball in terms of my emotions, in negative emotions at that. Anger and irritability, bitterness became some of the core things that made or became the hallmark of my life as I grew up. And this particularly directed my dad, as he was not in my life as I would have loved him to be, as I saw from other children as I was growing up. Now, it took me a very awkward incident to actually then get the forgiveness that I should have given him from the time that I was even younger than I ended up giving it to him. I was 28 years old at the time when my dad and myself were driving towards the rural areas from where we come from, deep in rural Zimbabwe. And when the car broke down, it was just myself and himself and the bush around us and nothing else really. We talked about politics. We talked about football. We talked about all the small things that really are inane in the long term, and if you think of it from a really great life perspective. But ultimately, when all of that ran out, and we're still stuck in that place, we ended up talking about the issues that had affected me even as I grew up. I spoke to him about the anger that I had. I asked him why he had left our family. I confronted him on all these issues that really had weighed me down for such a long period of my life. And in that moment, he spoke back, apologized, and I was actually then able to give him the forgiveness that, like I said, I should have given him a long time ago. The funny thing that happened, though, is that a week later, he was in a car accident, and a few days later, he was dead. This kind of took me back to just see a short window of opportunity that I had been provided, that I had been given to be able to make reconciliation with my dad, give him the forgiveness that was due, and actually then release myself from all these negative emotions that I was experiencing as a young man growing up. Now, I want to encourage, given the small window that I got, and knowing that a lot of people out there might not have a similar opportunity to be able to speak with their dads, confront their dads, and potentially even forgive their dads. Because if not, what happens is all these emotions that take hold of us, that take us so much deeper into this place of darkness and potential depression even, are not solved. And we end up living out and potentially hurting the people that we are in love with or that love us as a result of what's actually happening internally inside of us. Now, I want to encourage you. I don't know what potentially could have happened between your parents. I don't know if you know your dad. I don't know what kind of relationship you potentially have with him today. But one thing that I know is that if you're holding on to the anger, if you're holding on to the bitterness, and potentially all these other negative emotions that come as a result of that, what can come out of that is essentially just the negative stuff that I spoke about in terms of our societal ills. Gender-based violence is one of these things. A lot of kids are ending up in jail as a result of this. And the stats speak for themselves. And you can see just how many and how much children end up suffering as a result and at the hands of men who don't know how to take care of themselves, men who don't know how to forgive that which has passed, that they may actually have a better life going on before them. So what am I saying in essence? I've come here really just to share and say I had an opportunity, I had a small chance to be able to fix things with my dad before he passed away. You don't know where yours is going to go. You don't know how much time you have. Even if he is gone, it is so much difficult, I think, for you to be then holding on to this anger and this bitterness to someone who's actually left this planet already. Bottom line is we all have to find ourselves at some point in time giving off of the forgiveness that we should. That small forgiveness, much as it is beneficial for the person that you're giving it to, is actually more beneficial for yourself as an individual. Because from there, should you be able then to live a life without blaming somebody, without looking at somebody else as a major fault for where you find yourself, but ensuring that whatever you give off going on forward in your entire life, you'll be able to give a better life, a better society, and hopefully, from what I speak today, a better world for ourselves. Please, like I said, the encouragement that I have for you today, if it was all possible, Try and have that conversation. Try and seek out that conversation. Take the first step and be the one who actually then says, I want to forgive you that. I want to give you that, potentially that which I think you don't deserve, but I know is going to make the world, not just for you, but for me and my children after me, better beyond that. Thank you very much.